Mm, sure. It's not the case that healthy food is not tasty. This has got blueberries, banana, threw in a little bit of dragon fruit. That's it. Wow. A little bit of water, spring water. So tasty, so tasty. Okay, here's a question for you that just feels so relevant. So I've always known I'm a stress eater. So I've been trying to deal with that. But what I've noticed now, only because I'm thinking about it, is that when I eat certain food, the anxiety gets worse. Is that possible? Is that possibly connected? Or is it just a coincidence? Gosh, yeah. The thing is, the more the more stressed you get, I don't know about you, I know about me, I know about many people, immediately stress starts. And then as it goes up, it's like our automatic bad habits can leap in. And at a deeper level, we can be saying, no, stop, this isn't good for me. But I'd say the animal side of us, and not the wise animal, but the instinctive animal is just grabbing in survival mode for whatever is closest. So, and perhaps stress is going up. So, thinking, survival, survival, I must get food. It may not be that food is needed at all, but it's just a response like, I need to, I need to do something. And the thing that you may need to and probably do need to do, I certainly can only speak for myself, is, oh, take a deeper breath and just stop for a moment and acknowledge that the stress is rising, 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 and that when trains are going along a track and then there's a click and they go off in another direction, starting to notice sooner and sooner when you're going into stress monster mode and starting to grab at stuff that doesn't serve you. Because the second part of the question was about, is there a connection then between anxiety going up and eating, snacking all the time? Well, certainly. I'll use another analogy. If you imagine, I always think of the uh, pro tennis players. Not that I've ever been one, but I think I've been a scared little kid at one stage that couldn't play tennis. And I remember they have these automatic ball throwing machines across the net, and you can set them at higher and higher like frequency of the ball chucking over the net for you to practice serving back. So maybe one a minute or something, then one every 30 seconds, and then faster and faster. So you're working on your response. Um, if the body is getting the equivalent of a tennis ball down the throat, down the gullet, more and more often, you have workers, the equivalent of workers in your stomach, the digestive enzymes. The whole system has to go into work mode to digest well. And the food is just coming and coming and coming. We're taught, just a little snack. Snacking is actually a dangerous thing. Doesn't give the system any time to stop. And if you think of what is macro and micro, really is pretty much the same most of the time. So if you imagine factory workers also just non-stop processing and packaging and moving on, and this is what your digestive enzymes are doing, breaking things down to deeper and deeper and deeper levels to disperse the nutrients into different parts of your body. Now, if those little workers, equivalent of workers inside you, do not get time to rest, they're going into override. Equally, if you imagine again the quite different analogy of the tennis ball coming at you, if you can't hit them fast enough, they're going to start piling up and piling up and piling up. And it's the same with the food. It starts blocking up the receptors and stacking up. So instead of providing nutrients to the body, it's building up toxicity that cannot be absorbed. And then you get slime, you get lots of mucus, difficulty breathing, and perhaps you don't poop out the other side either too fast or not fast enough. And this overall feeling of you know it. We all know it when you've taken on too much. So yes, sure, the long and the short of it is this is highly anxiety provoking for the stomach. What's going on in the stomach directly, so many studies, you can research it yourself. I'm not really a science bod. I read it, but I don't, I like using analogies rather. The mind and the stomach so interconnected that when you give your stomach time to pause in between eating until you're actually hungry, if you think of digestive fire in making a little fire, your digestive fire then being able to work well and efficiently to digest your food, it's calming on your inner workers because they have time to do their job. And all the systems aren't literally having the equivalent of thousands of tennis balls thrown down their throat. Oh, here's some more food coming. What we're going to do with this shit? With this, because even if it is wonderfully healthy food, if you're not hungry for it, it's going to be at least some toxic buildup. So then the short or the long road starts to retraining yourself to just stop and ask yourself, am I hungry? I'm getting stressed. Clearly I'm getting stressed. Let me stop now rather and see if I can identify what is stressing me. Can I go for a little walk around the block? What can I do to clear some of the stress? Maybe some stretches. I like doing inversions or um, plow pose, or just stretching out the arms behind me like this, just even shaking into the shoulders a bit. A few little things um, specific to each person, some of them general and helpful to everybody, but really taking the time out when you're not quite so stressed to work out a little bit of a plan for you when you know, sure, definitely I will stress eat again, because we live in a world that's so stressy. So coming up with a plan of action before you next get stressed, and practicing it um, before you're reaching for some stuff that's not going to serve you to eat. Equally, one of the things I do with increasing success is there's some food I just do not keep in the house. I don't keep in the kitchen. And if I'm going to eat something like a piece of chocolate, I get smaller and smaller pieces or a little bar rather than doing something dangerous like have a whole bar of chocolate that's just waiting there, or some, I don't know, biscuits. Anything that I know is going to be too tempting for me when stress really hits. And instead, having really close at hand something that actually is not a second best, but something that you actually do enjoy to do. Um, for some people, it's going to be going out and doing some weeding in the garden, or it depends what your circumstances are. But really, yes, sure, it does take effort to try these other things out and to change a deeply ingrained habit. But boy, oh boy, and girl, oh girl, and woman, oh woman, and man, oh man, I can't think of many things that are more worthwhile and life transforming to reduce down and then stop the stress overeating or any overeating, and relearning, because for most of us, we've learned this since pre-birth. It's in our bones uh, to overeat. So going gently, and being so kind to yourself, but then staying on track, that actually when you eat, when you're hungry, and not else at other times, it has profound and ongoing health benefits, increased vitality, and clarity at all levels. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam.